San Andres is a small island owned by Colombia, and it's about 200 miles north of Panama. And I sailed there from the Bahamas because I wanted to go to Panama, and in order to get in to the country, I needed a COVID test. I had one from the Bahamas, but it would have been 17 days old by the time I reached Panama. So I stopped in San Andres, stayed there for about a week, got my test, did a bunch of shopping, and then took off for Panama.
Vamos a Panama! Finally going to Panama. After a brief stop in San Andres, this is it, we are off.
The beginning of the trip was fun. We had 16 to 18 knots on a beam reach or broad reach, so we were going about 7 knots. Had about 6 to 8 foot seas, so we were going fast, and I was enjoying the ride, and the hydrovane was steering. But this didn't last. Towards the end of the trip, I had to slow down in order to not arrive before sunrise. So the second day and the arrival was mighty slow. But the water was blue, and the sky was blue, and Windflower was sailing just as well as she always does. The hydrovane was a new addition this year. I installed that back in St. Augustine before I took off for the Bahamas, and it turned out to be the best thing I did to the boat. I mean, I installed a new engine and new rigging and lots of things, but the hydrovane is noticeably the best thing I did. It just steers easily and flawlessly the whole time. But just to stay in practice and to enjoy steering, because it is kind of fun, I did steer a couple of times. Here you can see we are reefed way down, and that's because I'm trying to go less than 5 knots. Otherwise, I would have arrived at dark, and I don't ever like to enter a new place in the dark.
Sunrise breakfast. It's eggs with onion, tomato, and cabbage for breakfast, and coffee. So far, it's been a smooth ride. Downwind the whole way, plenty of wind. If we lose the wind, which we're supposed to, it's probably going to get uncomfortable because of all these waves, because the swell will be rocking quite a bit without sails up. So that's probably what I'm looking towards this afternoon, this evening. All right, peace.
This is how I spent most of the journey, reclined in the helm chair, in this case watching the sunrise, but sometimes reading a book, sometimes fishing, and sometimes just staring out at the ocean.
Good morning. Yeah, it's the morning of day 2, and the sun is coming back up, and the Bimini's back up. See, I take the Bimini down in the evening so I can see the stars, and I put it back up again every day to protect me from the sun. And I've also got this aloe plant right here in case I get too much sun. That's the same aloe plant I took with me to the Bahamas in 2018 when I was riding Journey to the Ragged Islands. It's from the house I used to own in St. Augustine, the aloe plant. I took it from my house on Hydrangea Street. Took it to the Bahamas in 2018, 3 years ago. Used it, and it actually fell in the water and sat on the bottom of the ocean in an anchorage for a couple of hours before I decided to go in and rescue it. So it's just a couple of tiny little leaves, and it survived. And here it is 3 years later, still giving me sunburn relief. So that's the report from this morning, whatever day it is, April something, 2021, day 2 of San Andres to Panama. We are moving mighty slow now, trying to go less than 4 knots. So we get there at daylight tomorrow. Looks like we're probably going to arrive at night anyway, but I'll have to figure that out. I'm not going in. Not going in at night, that's for sure. So, muy tranquilo out here today, just chilling and letting the Kindle charge, and then I'll start reading. I haven't been fishing because there's a lot of sargassum, a lot of seaweed that fouls my lure, so I haven't been fishing much. That's about it. Got about half the Genoa.
I caught a mahi-mahi on the way to San Andres from the Bahamas, and it was absolutely delicious, but I did not catch anything between San Andres and Panama.
Pulled out the Genoa with the boom. I don't have a whisker pole or a spinnaker pole, so I'm using the boom as a spinnaker pole or a whisker pole. Got a block on the end of it, and then this line goes through the block and then goes to a snatch block. The snatch block is on the jib sheet. Use the preventer to pull the boom forward, and between the preventer, the main sheet, and the boom topping lift, the boom is held firmly in place, and so far so good. It helps. It's not perfect, but it helps a lot. So the wind is down to 9.5 a minute ago. We got 11 right now, 10.5, and it's flopping about. So yeah, it helps. It's better. If you don't have a whisker pole, it works. It's important though to protect the mainsail from the sheet. So you can see I've got the mainsail sort of tied up out of the way with sail ties. Otherwise the jib sheet will chafe on it. Alright. Yeah. That's what's been going on. The wind's been dying. This is going on because we are getting closer to Panama. Normally a large windless area right in front of Panama around Bocas del Toro. So that's what's going on. The wind's dying. I'm sure I'll be starting the engine here before too long. We'll be motoring the last part of the way, which I'm not looking forward to. It's going to be rolly. We got like 6-foot swell, 8-foot sets. But anyway, we will be there in the morning. So it's often asked whether or not the hydrovane can steer downwind and light wind, and here we have it. Okay, that's where we're going. And there's the wind speed, 10, 11. And the hydrovane's doing just fine. So that's pretty impressive. It's using its own rudder. And we're going 155 degrees, 160. It's our true wind angle. See over there, it's almost straight downwind. Well, we're just motoring now. There's no more wind. It's down to like 5 knots. It's variable, so we are motoring. A little squall just passed us, but mostly missed us. We had a little sprinkle and it cooled off, so it's a pleasant evening right now, all except for the engine noise. But we are going 3.75 knots, and we should arrive at Isla de Colón tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And I think I'll go in the cut, what's it called? So I think I'll go in the easternmost cut, and westernmost? West. I think I'll go in the cut to the west, the big shipping channel, the big deep shipping channel. And that way, by the time I get to the anchorage, it'll be, get rid of this. By the time I get to the anchorage, I'll have enough light to see where I'm dropping the hook and make sure I don't drop it on any coral. So that's the plan. Well, this is it. We're going to enter the channel in Bocas del Toro, Panama, finally. Very cloudy morning, threatening to rain, so I've got the rain gear ready and the bimini up. It looks like it's a lighted channel, the buoys are lit, and I watched a big boat go in earlier, so a big ship. So he went through all the channels on the chart plotter, so it should be easy entrance, as long as we don't get a big old rainstorm, which looks like we might get. Anyway, all is well. Saturday morning, 6 o'clock, on schedule arrival. Safe water buoy. We're now officially in the channel. We made it to Bocas del Toro. We're out here in this alternate anchorage. I chose this one because the other one was awfully crowded, and this is closer to the ocean and the surf. It's a nicer view, even though it's supposed to be louder, so we'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, I'm stoked to be here and dealing with customs right now.